The electric car company Tesla is planning its next moves after an IPO that raised $226 million, about a quarter more than expected. I want to bring in the man who staked his personal fortune on that IPO. He's the PayPal co-founder, Elon Musk. And Elon, great to have you with us. We've been looking forward to talking with you. And, with all these reports about your IPO and the company, a lot of it focuses on the loss-making part of Tesla. Hasn't made any money. The prototype, you don't know yet whether or not you're going to be able to mass produce a company on the Model S. There's no distribution system yet. It almost seems as if investors are buying into your company on a leap of faith.
Well, first of all, I should mention that not only were we able to increase the size of the offering and price above the range, but the quality of investor that people will see, when people see who's investing in an IPO, it's the smartest, most long-term thinking investors in the market. It's really an amazing set of investors. So I think it's just worth noting that the smartest money in the world is betting on Tesla. They must have a reason for doing so, because obviously to go public and increase the range and increase the price in this market is not easy. And yet, but these are very well-informed people.
Right, but you've got an equal number of people who are saying, there has to be more, answered. There has to be more questions that have to be answered. Essentially, what are you going to do with this money, and how are you going to stop losing money in Tesla?
Yeah. Well, I think an important point that seems to be lost by most people is that if Tesla were just making the sports car and doing our powertrain supply business, we would be profitable as a company. However, we're expanding massively. We're talking about expanding by 3,000% in the space of 2 to 3 years. It's just not possible for the company as a whole to be profitable with that with that rate of expansion. And that's the reason for the unprofitability. It's not some fundamental flaw in the Tesla business.
Right. We had a guest earlier on Elon who said, look, he wouldn't buy a company, a Model S, unless it was part of a larger firm, a larger auto company. Is the end game for Tesla to be acquired by a larger car company?
No, I think our goal is to remain independent and to create the most compelling and competitive car company of the 21st century. That's what we intend to do. Yeah, I mean that's the strategy we're executing against. Okay,
so an acquisition is out of the question.
I wouldn't say it's out of the question. It's just not something we're aiming for.
Okay.
I don't think it's sort of like aiming for happiness. You don't aim for happiness. You do things that result in happiness.
And it might appear, right? Okay, Elon. Before I leave you, though, I've got to ask you about your divorce proceedings because they are part of your prospectus. You've tried to reassure investors that your divorce settlement is not going to impact your holdings in Tesla. How can you guarantee that?
Well, it's a longer explanation than can be given in a short interview. But suffice to say that the Department of Energy, the Underwriters Council, other investors have done their due diligence, and to the best of their assessment, they don't think it will affect
your stake is not going under 65% in Tesla, is what you're saying. You're guaranteeing that.
Yeah, to be precise, that no more than 35% of my ownership of Tesla would be sold. That is correct. There is no way that could occur.
Okay, Elon, we're going to have to leave it there, but I appreciate you joining us and taking some of these questions. Tesla CEO Elon Musk talking about the IPO.